Do you want to turn your LF detail down just a couple notches?
I just turned it down quite a bit.
Oh, did you?
Oh, wait.
What's your LF detail on your enhancer?
1. Oh, wait. I'm sorry. I have the HF. I turned down. Sorry.
Oh, turn your HF up.
How about that? Is that better?
Yeah.
So not so much bass?
Yeah, it's definitely less.
Okay. It's not. It's about the bass, not about the treble. There was a song like that.
Yeah, Megan
about
Trainor.
About that bass.
Yeah. Everybody gets that.
All right. Let me know when I got to hit the record here.
All right. Well, whenever you can hit record whenever you want.
I am recording.
Yay. Welcome back to another episode of the Pandemic Guitar Podcast, where two guys that seem to have 300 hobbies between the two of them get together every 2 weeks to focus on one of them for about an hour. When you've got two squirrels hanging around a nut farm like Tim, that's me, and Rick.
Hi, everybody.
You need someone like Amanda.
Howdy.
To keep us on track. How's everybody doing? I'm tired.
Same
here, and I hope we pass the audition.
Did you? Yeah. What's that commercial with Slash from Guns N' Roses where he's like playing and they're like, okay, that's enough. You're in.
I didn't see that.
You haven't seen it?
Oh, I feel like I've seen that. I don't remember what it was for though.
Yeah, I don't remember what it's for, but I think you've passed the audition. You're already in. We're all here.
Awesome.
Yep.
Yeah. Anything new since the last time we recorded? I have a little bit of news.
Go ahead.
I have a story. Oh, what was it? About a week and a half, 2 weeks, 3 weeks ago? I don't know. It was a little bit ago. I had a local high school utilizing my armory for a week, about 4 days really. They basically had people from the community bring in trailers, like farm trailers and so forth. And after school, the high school kids would come in and they would work on building their floats for the homecoming parade. And I didn't really stick around too much because that's kind of more of a recruiting thing. So I let my recruiter kind of spearhead that. But Thursday was the night that everybody came in. They pulled their floats out, they staged, and they had their parade. Friday morning, I walked in and my armory was a little bit more messy than what I normally would expect it to be. But I'm like, I'm just too busy. I don't care. The recruiter comes in and says, hey, did you see that somebody left a guitar? It's like, what? So we go out to the drill floor and on a table is sitting an Ibanez acoustic guitar.
Wow.
I'm like, well, this is cool. So I grab it and I'm like, okay, I'm going to play this thing. And I'm like, all right, it's a little bit out of tune. So I grabbed, I used the Really Horrible, and I'm going to call Fender out for their app, their Fender Tune app. It's horrible. And I didn't even need it in this particular case, even though I started with it, because then I realized that this was an acoustic electric. So it had a built-in tuner, turned it on. Everything's a little flat. So I start tuning it and it's getting worse. And I look, and the bridge is just lifting up. The only thing holding this bridge to the body is the string pins, the 6 pins that hold the strings in. I'm like, oh, crap. So I loosen everything up and I put it back on the table. And I'm like, well, not my problem. And and nobody came. Nobody called. Nobody knocked on the door. Nobody. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to take it home. I'm going to clean this thing up because it's just absolutely filthy. It's road worn, and put it all back together and, maybe try to find the kid who left it there. So I I bring it home. I clean it all up. I I try to glue the bridge back down, but the body is lifted just a little bit. And at that point in time, I thought maybe that was normal. So I glued it, I let it sit for a day or two, and then I went to go restring it, and the bridge popped off again. I'm like, oh crap. All right. So clean it all back off, went to go re-glue it, did a little bit more research, and that's when I pretty confidently found out that, yeah, that top of the acoustic guitar is supposed to be flat. So I don't think I can really fix this
Ah,
unless I replace the entire top.
that might be, but or you at least got to take the top off and fix the bracing underneath.
I used an endoscope to try to get in there and look around a little bit. I don't see any issues, but doing a little research, I've found that apparently there can be an issue that you just can't see until you get the top off.
That's true, but at least you're trying.
Yeah, the way I look at it is at this point, nobody's contacted me about the guitar. So I assume that it was just broken and left because nobody cared about it. My recruiter thought maybe it was a prop. But looking at this particular acoustic guitar, I think it's like an Ibanez AGE, if I remember right. And the new model to buy one right now today is like $350.
Nice.
So I'm like, this can't be a prop.
No, did you sure they didn't leave me one too?
I'll double check when I go back to work. No, but we talked about it. I'm gonna hold on to it and wait until things kind of calm down a little bit, and then maybe this winter, maybe I'll dig into it a little bit more. But I just think that was really cool that out of all the chaos that's going on, you just happen to find a guitar sitting there, and
Nice.
if I can fix it, great. It didn't cost me anything more than my time. And if I can't fix it, well, then I learned a lot of things and it didn't cost me any money.
Yep, it's the way to do it.
Yeah, that's really, really all I have.
Nice. Yeah, I got some. I just wanted to talk that we're talking about the previous episode, and my brother, who also plays Ed, is my brother's name. He sent. He sent a picture because we were talking about picks and stuff like that and how to hold them and stuff. And he sent a picture in from, I believe it was one of the major guitar stores, and it had sort of like a rubber wrapper around the top half of the pick there. So I didn't know that they even existed.
I said they were beanies because of the orientation of the picture. If you flip the picture upside down, then yeah, I would say koozies.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense too.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
just silly looking.
yeah, I had no idea they existed. I did at one point. I did try, that stuff that you buy to put on like a screwdriver or something like that. I'm sorry, not a screwdriver, but you got a pair of pliers and it doesn't just metal, and they sell something you can dip the ends in, and it coats the ends. And I did that with guitar picks one time, and sort of. They worked out okay.
Is that kind of like when it dries, it's almost like a rubber or a silicone?
Yeah, it's like a rubber. It's a grippable rubber that they use on the tools so you can grip them better.
Wouldn't that just make your pick heavy?
It makes it thicker, I'll tell you that.
Yeah. I mean, you already play with heavy picks, so I mean, throwing that on there would just make it even thicker.
That's true. Yeah, I do play with a heavy pick.
What about you, Amanda? You got anything going on? Anything new?
Not really.
No.
No, not really.
No, you got a text message like, "Oh, we're recording? Cool."
Yeah, it would be great if we had some communication. But I understand I'm working with two males, so that's a little hard to come by. It's okay.
Ouch.
I'll let that burn hurt a little bit before I continue.
Totally my fault. Just I knew that I had to either call you or text you about it, and I just spaced it, and it was like because I got busy, and I guess when I was home the other night, I wasn't wearing my new earplugs, so and mom and I were talking, so I lost track of time. See if I was wearing my earplugs, then I would have remembered.
Were you playing your shovel guitar? So if you play a quick little tune, dig a hole. Play a quick little tune, dig a hole.
Yeah. But anyway.
Yeah, so how we were talking about the last episode, Tim, when you kind of brought up the story about you only knowing so many chords of a song from Nirvana. Do you have $250,000 on you? Because Kurt Cobain's acoustic guitar is about to go on sale.
No way.
Yeah. Yeah.
No.
Really?
There's a huge auction. It's going to be one of Jimi Hendrix's guitars is going to be up for auction. It looks like it's it's Japanese Sunburst electric guitar. If you know what that is.
Yeah, but Hendrix, That guitar, well, I'm not sure which guitar that is going up for auction, but I know one of his guitars has gone up for auction a bunch of times.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's sold
Two
or not.
$250,000 though. I mean,
it's a lot of money.
wow.
Chump change.
Yeah,
or you
right.
could get Elvis's guitar, 1975 Martin D28, complete with the case.
Nice. Well, I don't have the money to buy any of that stuff.
That's got to be auction though, right?
Yeah, that's auction.
Okay, so what is the starting bid supposed to be?
Yeah, that I don't know.
Oh, it's got to be ridiculous.
Yeah,
Probably.
I would agree.
Yeah.
I would agree.
I think we're going to talk a little bit more, a little bit later about artists and their guitars in the episode. But before we get to that point, we have a few other things that we have to get through. And amazingly, we got a question from a listener 2 episodes in a row.
Yep. Unbelievable.
I thought it was a fluke.
You did. That question is, what is a good electric guitar for a beginner that will not break my bank?
Oh, that's pretty, well, I shouldn't say easy, but I did some research.
No.
Inflatable
Yes, an
guitar.
inflatable guitar would be the,
Yeah. The only thing you can do is like put your finger over the valve and squeeze. It's almost like a bagpipe at that point.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can tape a little
No.
whammy bar on there.
Yeah.
Actually, the cheapest guitar is an air guitar.
It-
I mean, technically that's, oh, okay. I gotcha. I was a
Yeah.
little slow to that one.
yeah.
Yeah. Anyhow,
It's
Go ahead.
just, it takes twice as long to learn though.
yeah, that's true. Anyhow, in no particular order, I think some of the guitars I would look at if you're a beginner at this stuff, it would be the Yamaha Pacifica. Heard a lot of good stuff about that. Squire Bullet, the Mustang, another great guitar. Heard a lot of things about that one. Good things.
I've been looking at the Yamaha Pacificas actually.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
I've been seeing a few of them up on the Metaverse marketplace,
Okay.
and the ones that I've been seeing look like they're in really good condition, and they're actually realistically affordable. I mean, anywhere from $110 to $200.
Yep. And they come a good bang for the buck, really, with those.
Yeah, and I don't think that people modify them as much as they do the Squires.
Yeah, Squires are pretty popular to modify. Another good one would be the Epiphone Les Paul, the 8LT, the light edition or the limited edition.
Is that bolt-on? Is that a bolt-on or through neck?
I think that's a bolt-on. I don't think it would be
Okay.
a through neck at that price.
Okay.
And then you go into the Ibanez. Ibanez gives you a lot of good bang for the buck too. A lot of good stuff there. And then you get some out of country guitars like Solo, who I believe is in Australia. I'm not 100% sure, but they got some really good. They make really good guitars for what I hear. And another one is Benton Harley, which is I think they're Japanese. I'm not 100% sure of that.
Well, you would think they'd either be like Indonesia, Japanese, Chinese.
Yeah, so
I think that's where a lot of the cheaper, and when I say cheaper, I mean price-wise, not necessarily quality-wise, because I've been seeing a lot of decent quality come out of those countries.
yeah, actually, China and Indonesia has really upped their game on the American market, so you can get a really good deal on a lot of stuff, and they're very playable too.
You know, one that I was going to suggest, because I want to buy one so bad, and every time they're in stock, I'm like, I don't know. But that's the Xavier Les Paul.
Yes, very nice. I heard a lot of good things about them. Never played one. I'd really like to play one. Try it out.
Yeah, I want to get one so bad. And the wife, what was it? Was it kiwi? The color that you sent me? I can't remember without looking it up, but the wife doesn't like that color. I like that color. So I think I'm going to end up having to go with another color in order to get her to agree. But I've been seeing also a company or a manufacturer, whatever, a guitar called Firefly.
Yeah, another good one.
I've seen that they have a little bit of a construction issue, but it's all cosmetic stuff as far as the the guitar itself, everybody seems to think that they're really good. I mean, when they come to the market, you have to catch them right away or they're
Right.
gone.
Yeah. No, I agree. The Fireflies are really nice. As I said, I never played one, but I did hear they had some QA issues, quality assurance issues. But
Yeah.
I mean, it just depends. But if you can look over that, they play really, really nice.
Yeah, I think if you're just talking about, I mean, if the frets are good, everything is in line, and I think that's fine if all you have to do is deal with, oh, maybe there's some dirt in the binding or the binding doesn't quite line up perfectly. I mean, you're buying a sub $350 guitar, but you're getting the quality of something that is much more expensive as far as, I shouldn't say quality, the playability.
Right. And that's what you want to, you don't want the strings 12 feet off the fretboard, and you don't want to have, you don't want to sit.
I mean, not unless you're playing slide guitar.
Well, yeah, that's a different story. That's a totally different ball game.
There's tons of affordable options out there, and I'll ask this: what's your opinion on used guitars versus new guitars?
Used guitars is very good. I mean, I like them. The only thing is you got to really watch what you buy. It's like the project guitar we
Sure.
got. I mean, I got a good deal on it, and I'm putting a little bit of money into it, probably about $50 into it, but it's still be, when it's done, it's going to be really nice.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I've kind of got a little project one going on too, and so far it's the only thing I had to pay for was the bridge clamp, which I think I got for $17 or something like that. I like the look of the new guitars. You go to the store, you look at it, it's very attractive, and it's yours, nobody else has played it. But I also kind of like the story behind a used guitar. When I'm if somebody comes over and I'm like, oh, hey, check this out, here's where I found it, here's what I've done to it, this is what the previous owner has said, and so forth. So in a way, I kind of like the used stuff.
Right. I think one of the things that I always look for is a friend or a relative or somebody or somebody else through the just talking and stuff like that. If they have something for sale, you can at least get a good story on what the guitar's been through and what it's like and stuff like that. Where if you go to one of the box stores, you're only hearing what the sales guy tells you or the associate's telling you. So
do people like buy used guitars and like flip them?
Yeah, well, it used to be lucrative. I don't think it's as lucrative anymore because the used market, the guitars have gone up in price because the new guitars in general.
They're made of wood.
Yeah, and wood is it costs a lot of money, especially for the wood that they use, the hardwoods and stuff. So the prices of new guitars went up. So the used market is you're paying them more for the used guitars. And I mean, the guitar that I just bought for the project guitar, I mean, I paid $72, and yeah, it was a good price for it. But I don't think I would. I don't think I would pay any more than that for it. But I'm seeing now on some of the sites Squire bullets going for $200, and that's outrageous.
That is outrageous. Like the Squire bullet is, to my knowledge, the entry level.
Right.
So that should be like $130.
Yep.
Unless they're giving you like a gig bag and a small amp and a few other things with it, I don't see why you would be spending $200.
Some of the sites say that it's an old guitar, it's 10 years old and stuff like that, and still to buy a bullet and pay $200, I mean, you might as well just go out and get like a standard or something, because at that price you can get a used Squire standard, and I would rather have a Squire standard than a bullet or even an Affinity.
I was going to say $180 to $200 should probably be what the Affinities are going for, but I think the lowest I've seen them lately are like $240.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I just think that's probably a little much for what it is, because there are so many options out there. I think that if the Squire, being the entry level Fender, if you're going to raise your prices to that point, then start looking at other options. And it's kind of like that whole thing when I was a kid and, Nike shoes were the thing. If you didn't have Nike shoes, then you were nobody.
Mm-hmm.
Now I realize they're the most uncomfortable things I've ever worn in my entire life.
Oh, wow.
You do the airwalks. Are those Nike?
No, that was kind of a skateboarding type thing, but you just find what's comfortable and what you like and what and for the price you're willing to spend on it. Don't focus on the brand, the name, It's my opinion.
Yeah, I agree.
So I think that's the only question we had. Is that correct?
Yep, that was the only one.
All right. So if you have a question or would like us to talk about something that you're particularly interested in, feel free to reach out to us on Instagram at Pandemic Guitar or email pandemicguitar@icloud.com. Ask your question, and each episode, as long as we get some questions coming in, we'll just have a little discussion and give you our input, our feedback, and that'll be that. So last episode, I was talking about, at the end, I mentioned, what are we going to talk about in the next episode? And I said to you, Rick, maybe we should actually, like, if we actually have an idea that we're going to talk about, then we say, yeah, this is what we're going to talk about on the next episode, instead of, well, we really don't know what we're going to talk about, so let's come up with something. And after the fact, I came up with some great ideas. So stick around for episode 7, where we actually have great ideas. But this one was all about the perfect number of guitars to own, and or how many is too many if there is such a thing.
Wow, that's a toughie.
Yeah, this is the question. I know, Amanda, your answer is easy because you have so many guitars.
I have a plethora. I have so many. I can't even keep count.
Yeah, I see all of them. Yeah. Behold my field.
Right.
It is barren.
I can barely afford rent, let alone buy a guitar. So
yeah, well,
that's where I am.
That is not a joke.
I don't know. I think having just one is not enough.
No, it's not.
That's right.
Is it like a pair of shoes? You need to switch them out. You need to have like things to choose from.
Well, all right. So for me, I have 2 pairs of shoes. I have my lawn mowing shoes, 3 pairs. I have my everyday shoes, my running shoes, and my mowing shoes. Those are, I swap them out for whatever use I need the shoes for. This was a conversation. I actually had this conversation with the wife. You have one guitar and you play that. As soon as you play a second guitar, you realize that you're playing the exact same thing, but because it's a different configuration, whether it be different string sizes, different pickups, different whatever, it sounds completely different.
I would agree.
And so, yeah, so you want to have, if you want to play Guns N' Roses, well, they do everything. Slash does everything in this weird tuning that I haven't even found a name for. So now I want a double humbucker that I can just keep in that tuning. And when I want to play Guns N' Roses, I go there. If I want to play Prince, well, it sounds good on my Squires. It sounds like garbage on everything else. So I'm trying to kind of sit there and explain this and say, I have a humbucker single. I have a Telecaster. I have a double humbucker. I need a triple single. I'd like a Les Paul. I have a 6-string acoustic, but I need to have a 12-string. Before you know it, I need 32 different guitars that I don't know how to play.
Nice. I don't know. I'm sort of the same way with that. I think that different configurations are the key. Like 2 humbuckers. I think if I had to do it all over again, I would think I would have a guitar that has 2 humbuckers, one that has 3 single coils. I'd have one that had a humbucker, single coil, and a humbucker, and then also a humbucker and 2 single coils on the electric side. I think that would cover all my bases. And I'm not talking about tone woods or anything like that. I'm just talking about pickup configuration. And those would be my go-to guitars.
Yeah, I would agree. I think, I mean, that covers pretty much. I mean, the only thing I think you didn't mention was a triple humbucker.
Yeah, triple humbucker too, but they're not.
Or they have a humbucker single humbucker too, I believe.
Yeah, they do, but still, if they have a single humbucker, it's usually in the bridge position. So,
yep.
I mean, most of your 2 humbucker pickup guitars will cover that. You can also have a single coil, single pickup, like I think there was a Telecaster, an Esquire had a single pickup in it, but I mean, there's different configurations, and they're going to sound different, but those are the 3 or 4 major ones that I think I would have. Everything else is, I mean, a lot of it. The other things is feel of the guitar.
I agree to that too. But I know that different manufacturers, different companies, they'll use different shape and size necks and so forth. And the interesting is that I really liked the Samick because it's a very, very thin neck. And now that I've utilized the Samick to learn some chords and moving around and so on and so forth, now I've gone back to the Squire, and that's more comfortable than the Samick. Like, the Samick is almost now too thin of a neck for me.
I don't know what to say.
Yeah, it's weird. I used to just be able to play on the Samick, have no problems. The Fender neck was thicker. I always had issues. And then out of nowhere, now not Fender, Squire Fender. But yeah, I'm more comfortable on the Squire Telecaster and the Squire Bullet than I am on the Samick. But I love the sound of the Samick because it's the double humbuckers. And I think I've said before, I really like the sound of humbuckers.
Yeah, they do have a more full sound than the single coil. But here again, I like the single coils. I just like that open, airy sound of the single coils.
Can your taste or your hearing, I guess, adapt and adjust? And maybe at one point in time, you really like this sound with this configuration, and later discover you like something different.
Oh yeah, I do all the time. That's why.
So
remember, in the beginning, I said I was a Fender guy, and then Mom came back and said, "No, you're a Gibson guy," and everybody was thinking I was a Gibson guy.
Yes. Every single person who has ever listened to this remembers specifically that story.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, you can get. I mean, I think the other part of this is if they're solid body, I think that those basically 3 configurations or 4 configurations just about handle everything. If you're talking hollow, you're talking a whole totally different ballpark.
So now that's another question, because I've been seeing a lot of advertisements and so forth, and maybe some stuff in the news where semi-hollow bodies are just they seem to be trying to regain popularity or something.
Yeah.
So, and I've never played anything but a acoustic and an electric. I've never played a semi-hollow body, so I don't even know what it would be like.
Yeah, it's a little different. They're great for songwriting and stuff like that because, well, same thing with an acoustic guitar, but the hollow body guitars, you can play something. You don't need an amplifier, and you can quietly come up with a song or write a song doing it that way. Where on most of the electric or solid body guitars, you got to plug them in to get them to listen to them or hear them.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. And I've been seeing, is it the 335? Is that what they typically call the semi-hollow bodies?
Well, that's one version of it. That's the Gibson 335. Very popular.
Yeah, okay, because I've been seeing that number a lot.
Yep. Alvin Lee had one, Joe Bonamassa. Matter of fact, that's coming up in one of the things, I believe, and something about, Epiphone just released the Joe Bonamassa ES335.
I did see that, and we're really there. So let's just talk about that for a second.
Sure.
So I actually received an email about that. I hadn't heard about this or anything until you had mentioned it to me.
Yep.
And I can't remember, maybe it was even on Instagram. Joe Bonamassa, apparently he worked with Epiphone, created 2 guitars, and they have some historic meaning to him and to his career. He did a lot of work to make sure that this was an affordable guitar. So I was like, oh, okay, you said affordable. You've piqued my interest.
Yeah.
So I went out to my favorite box store website, and I just did a search for Bonamassa, and it's the 1962 ES335 semi-hollow electric guitar. Yep. I think it is 60s cherry.
Yep. It's over $1,000.
Yeah. $1,300.
Yep.
I'm having trouble connecting the affordable part. So then I said, okay, whoa, wait a second. I'm always looking at the ESP James Hetfield guitars.
Okay.
So I'm like, all right, let's take a look. So I went out and looked. That's $1,500. So I guess when I compare it to that guitar that I was actually looking at and wishing that if I won the lottery, that's one that I would get, I guess this 335 is actually a little cheaper.
Yeah. I mean, he does put a lot of. I guess I really don't know how much input he has, but I'm sure he has quite a bit of input on how the guitar turns out and how close to the.
Sure, I mean you're putting your name
right,
on it.
Yeah, and he's got and I do have his Les Paul, the Black Beauty, and it's a 3 pickup Les Paul Epiphone. It's really nice.
It is a very sharp guitar for sure. Mm-hmm. But I mean, I guess if I had if I had a mortgage payment and a half to throw at the wall, sure, why not?
Well, mortgage payment, yes, but not the guitar. I wouldn't throw the guitar at the wall.
Yeah, don't do that. Well, I mean, they have so on this one, it's $1,300, $217 a month for 6 months.
Yeah, is that the 330?
That's the 335, yeah. The Joe Bonamassa. I mean, I guess if I didn't have any vehicle payments, I would say, sure, I'll throw a vehicle payment for 6 months.
Yeah, but look at go out and look at what the Gibson 335 costs.
Oh, I'm sure that is ridiculous.
I bet you it's double, if not triple. I bet you it's probably somewhere in the 2,600 mark.
Okay, well, the Gibson ES 335 figured semi-hollow body electric guitar 60s cherry, $4,000.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying is,
But then that takes me right back, in my opinion, and if I'm wrong or somebody doesn't agree with me, I don't care. But that goes back to buying a name.
Yeah, but, if you take the Joe Bonamassa Epiphone and compare it to the Gibson, it's affordable.
Yeah, true.
So, yeah.
I just can't wrap my head around it. I can't wrap my head around a $4,000 guitar.
Yeah, they're expensive, especially ones made in the USA.
But are they really made? Or they're made in the USA?
Yeah, they're made in the USA.
They're probably assembled in the USA. It's probably one of those things.
When Mom and I went down to the Gibson factory, they actually make the ES series from, it's scratch, basically. It's just wood pieces and stuff like that. They actually take and mold the I don't know if people know what an ES series is. It's a hollow body, semi-hollow body guitar.
Semi-hollow body.
Yeah, but
okay.
It's a laminate. It's like maple, and it's like 5 or 7 laminate maple on top of each other. That's how they curve the body, and it's a process. It's really neat how they do stuff like that.
So it's labor intensive. So the price tag is probably warranted.
Right. And I think that, Epiphone has the same process, I'm sure, but the thing is labor is quite a bit cheaper there. So you got the labor and then shipping.
I'm not saying that a $4,000 Gibson isn't worth $4,000 to somebody.
Right.
It's just not to me.
Right. And you're paying for the name too, You
Yeah.
pay.
Yeah,
I mean,
there's a little bit that goes into the name. Yeah.
right, and you're also paying for the name. The name is out there. You're paying. I mean, when you go to sell it, you're going to get the most from it. You know, if to give you an example, if you go out and you spend $4,000 on a Gibson there, and you wait 5 years, you'll probably be able to get that back on it, okay, or pretty close to it. If you go out and
Sure.
if you go out and you spend $250 on a Benton Harley, okay, you make it $80 for it. You know what I'm saying? You on the used market, the rate of return on the Gibson is
But
going to
your
be more.
buyers are also two different types of people.
Right. You're going to have
When you're,
collectors.
yes, you have collectors and you have people who are Gibson fanboys or fangirls. You have those people, and those are the people that are in the market for that. If you go out and you buy a $150 or a $200 guitar, you're going to play it, you're going to learn, you're going to outgrow it. You're not going to get your money back because the next person wants a better deal than you got.
Right.
Two complete different mindsets there.
Right. Yeah. And that's the thing is the Gibson. You have a lot of collectors out there that will pay good money for vintage, and if it hasn't been used, and especially if it's all original, you'll get premium dollar on it.
Yeah. I mean, what did no, I don't think Willie Nelson's guitar that hasn't gone up for sale yet, has it?
No.
I think I've seen a documentary of the amount of extensive work that has gone into maintaining that acoustic guitar.
Yeah, I believe he calls the guitar trigger.
Yeah, that sounds about right. I don't know without looking it up, but
Yeah.
I remember seeing something where he has like a luthier like on speed dial who just consistently repairs that guitar.
Yeah, did you ever see the top of the guitar? It's in bad shape.
Yeah, yeah, and they're trying to keep it as original as possible.
Yep. Yeah, it's
So
probably
you said that, not to interrupt, but I'm going to. You said you went to the Gibson factory.
yep.
And we kind of talked a little bit about this earlier, where the factory they produce the parts, and not every part is going to pass quality control.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I would imagine, because I've heard of this happening before, that there's a way to purchase those parts. Because what are they going to do?
No.
Maybe not with Gibson.
Yeah, I don't know about other companies, but when we were out there, there was it must have been an 8x8 crate on the floor, 4 foot high. And in there was a bunch of the guitars just piled in there. And they were what they call duds. They don't sell them. They're going to bring them. They bring them outside and crush them. I don't know what they do. They will not sell something that they don't.
To me, it would almost make more sense to part it out, and the parts that were good, be able to sell them to people to repair. But
Right.
I guess, yeah, they probably just, all they care about is selling new guitars.
Right, but the thing is that they don't want to sell. To give you an example, let's say the neck is warped or the body has a big crack in it. Somebody buys it and turns around and sells it. They don't want that reputation. So but the thing is these guitars that were in the barrel, they had no strings, they had no bridge, they had no hardware on them, no pickups, no nothing. They were just wood.
Yeah, they failed QC somewhere along the way.
Yeah. So either they had a crack, the binding was on wrong, something there that wasn't right, that didn't pass. They were just in a big pile. So now, if they bring, I've seen pictures and videos on YouTube where they bring them out in the parking lot and they run them over. I don't know if that's true or not with a steamroller, but I don't know. I don't know what they do with them, but I know that they don't sell them.
I don't think they have a steamroller.
Yeah,
I was going to say, that would be the coolest job ever.
That's right. Like, what do you do for a living? Oh, I work for Gibson. I operate the steamroller.
Yep. I cry a lot when I run over guitars.
So I know we were looking at, I don't know, Amanda, did you get a chance to jump on and find some more music history or?
Yeah, I did.
Oh,
I actually did.
I know you threw a couple things out there at the beginning.
Yeah. Do you want me to go?
Yeah, go for it. Why not?
So this was fun, by the way. But let me just preface this with saying not a lot was happening on October 20th in
Okay.
terms of music history.
All
So
right.
I'm gonna start with that. Okay. On October 20th, 1950, Tom Petty was born. Free
Ah,
Fallin', anyone?
Yep.
yeah, I'm a Petty fan.
Yeah, I like Petty.
I'm gonna be honest. I had to look up what songs he sang.
No,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you've been fired.
Man.
I really like Tom Petty. I like a lot of his songs, and a lot of his songs are 3 chords, and it's just the way that he plays those 3 chords that just makes his music amazing.
Yep.
You keep bringing up me trying to learn that one Nirvana song, and you get annoyed at it. That's me currently with Tom Petty. I can't even get something to sound close.
Your poor wife.
Yeah. No, I bought these earplugs for her.
I was gonna say she needs those. She needs an extra pair for Christmas. Somebody needs to make that happen in her stocking.
There you go.
Yeah.
Another thing that happened on October 20th, 1971, Snoop Dogg was born. Now I knew this one. I know Snoop Dogg. That's like
That's
it's
your
like
jam.
our generation.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anybody want to take a stab at? Okay, that was weird. Anybody want to guess what his real name is?
No.
Okay, this sounds like a spell, like a Harry Potter spell. His real name is Cortazar Calvin Broadus.
Oh wow.
Wow.
I would personally stick with Snoop Dogg
Yeah.
for sure.
Yep.
What would you say? Cortisone pimple snotus?
Exactly. That is exactly what I said. Cortisone. Yeah. And then October 20th, 1977, this was a big headline. Leonard Skinner members Ronnie Van Zant and Steve Gaines died in a plane crash in Mississippi.
Oh wow. I remember that.
Yeah.
That was.
I don't think it was just a couple of band members that died. I think several were injured.
No, I think everybody died because I thought I read that one of the bandmates' wives was also killed as well.
Yeah, that was bad news. I had heard. Now I don't know if this is true or not, but they had just come out. They just released an album a little while ago before the crash, and it had the album had them on the cover, and then it had fire. The whole bottom of the thing was on fire, and as soon as the plane crash happened, they pulled it off the market. So, yeah.
Wow,
yeah, I think they redid the cover, but if I recall, and I could be wrong, that was a long time ago.
that'd be kind of creepy. And of course, people are going to try to draw a connection to like it was premeditated or something like it. It's like, and maybe the guys were just hanging around and said, this is cool. And then a week later, tragedy happens. There's nothing that.
Just a coincidence.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
That's all that I have.
Oh, wow.
Oh, all right. Well,
I told you October 20th is like boring, apparently.
Well, we release on Thursdays, so we're trying to do, if we do music history, we want to do it on the day we release. It makes more sense, but all right. Well, hopefully next episode we're going to have some more music history.
Yeah. Well, I just looked up on the internet about Leonard Skinner, and
Okay.
Yeah, the cover did have fire and flames in the back, and I believe that they pulled that off. I'm looking at it right. I'm trying to figure that out right now. I think they pulled it, and they put out another cover or something on it. But,
yeah, and I think that's been done many times through history.
Yeah,
That's crazy how many like musicians have passed away like that. Like Stevie Ray
Right.
Vaughan, right?
I think
Died in a helicopter.
right. There's quite a few of them.
every time the Army says you need to get in that plane, I'm like, I'm following in the footsteps of Bon Jovi. He's not getting on a plane. I'm not getting on a plane. He knows something.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Bon Jovi?
Yeah.
I didn't know.
That's what I heard. I heard that guy will not get on a plane.
Huh. I mean, I don't blame him. I don't like to fly either.
I don't either.
It runs in the family.
Well, so why don't you give us some more updates on what's going on with the project guitar?
Oh yeah, let's talk about the body, and the body is what I've done and what needs to be done and stuff like that. So one of the things I did find is I did find a crack, actual physical crack in the neck pocket, and I repaired that. They're pretty easy and they're pretty common, with that, the Fender style guitars. Also,
Well, you said that crack happens typically because the claw on the bottom side, is it, what do they call that? Is that the bridge claw or the string tree or?
right. Well, what happens is the neck is supposed to fit in the pocket. With You're supposed to make a tight fit as possible in the pocket, so as the neck doesn't move around and stuff like that. So it
Sure.
wants to be up against the back. Well, between where the neck pocket ends and the pickup starts for the first single coil pickup, there's only about a half an inch or 3/4 inch piece of wood there, and
Yeah, it's not very thick.
yeah, and what happens is that the neck usually rests in that pocket, and there's a lot of stress there because the guitar is trying to collapse because the strings are trying to pull the neck, yeah, the neck into the
Yeah, it's
body.
trying to compress everything. Yeah.
Right. So the more tension on the strings, you got to put a lot of tension on the strings. You're going to pull that in. You're going to pull it closer, and if the screws on the back of the neck are a little bit loose, they'll pull it together and crack the back there of the pocket. There's a lot of other things too. The claw on the bottom. People like, instead of doing it the correct way and putting
Wait, you got to say it again. What is it?
the claw.
No, the claw. I was
Yeah.
totally like Inspector
claw.
Gadget. The claw.
The claw, yeah. Underneath in the back of the guitar, there's a claw
Yeah.
that holds the springs that keeps tension on the whammy bar, on the tremolo, the whammy bar thing. And what happens is the more pressure you put on that, the more pressure is on the strings. And that can also create that situation. Also, dropping the guitar could also, if it hits the neck or something like that, and then, it could cause a crack in the back there too. There's many possibilities that happen, but it's pretty common on the Fender Stratocasters or any Stratocaster, even the clones, that happens. So I did fix that. That's fixed. That's a done deal now. It's an easy fix. Then what I did was I cleaned the body, completely took everything out of the body, including the electronics. And then after I got it all cleaned, I put the neck back in there. And then now it's on to the electronics, which is going to be which will be on the next episode. And the electronics is another thing for sure, because we got some scratchiness and some other things when you turn the volume and tone controls on and off, or up and down, I should say. But that's about all I have.
Yeah, and I think you have a recording of that scratchiness or whatever. So when we get to that point,
yeah,
or we get to the point, we'll play pre-electronics and post-electronics, maybe.
Okay, that'll be fine. I mean, I can put it through. I got a mixing board here, so we can do that. And I know you do too, Tim. So
yeah, we'll figure out a way to, even if we have to put it in post, that's fine. We'll figure out how to do that. Yeah. Electronics is my favorite part. I like taking it apart and putting the electro tape or whatever it is in the pockets.
You mean the copper tape? Yeah.
Yeah, the copper tape. I got a roll right here. I like doing that, and then I like I as long as everything is like open and easy to get to, I don't mind doing some soldering and stuff like that. But I know, like on my Squire, I was looking at the work that you did, and you must have like a Hubble telescope, because everything is so tight and small and like just perfectly placed and ran, and I'm just like, throw it in there and let's go.
Well, you know what? I next time I do any work on a hollow body guitar, I'll have you help me.
Yeah, no, that'd be cool. I'd enjoy that a lot.
Yeah, because there's no access holes, Think about it. How do you get the potentiometers and stuff in there?
Science.
Well,
Mad
yeah,
science.
you got to put a lot of stuff through the F holes. There's those F holes. Yeah. And you just got to push it through. You got to have, I use coat hangers, metal coat hangers, and I made tools that I can fish the wire through the body and stuff like that, and get the potentiometers in the right spots so that I can get the washers and the nuts on there. And it's quite interesting.
All right. Well, we'll we'll catch back up here in 2 weeks, I suppose.
Yep.
I know that we're going to get more updates on the Project Guitar or what's going on. You said pickguard and wiring electronics. I'm super excited about that. And I also want to talk about some core techniques to learn and ways to improve, or I guess some core techniques that you need to learn to improve your guitar playing, and some songs that are really good for that. And I'm not talking about the out of the box canned, oh, if you want to learn how to play these songs. I'm talking about songs that are not in that box.
I still having a hard time with what you're talking about.
We'll figure it out. We got plenty of time.
Yep, we will.
Hey everyone, this is Tim. Thanks for listening to the entire episode. You made it all the way through. If I could give you bonus points, I would, but I just don't have bonus points to give. Anyway, we really do appreciate it, much more than you will ever know. We hope that you enjoyed the episode, even though it had quite a few audio issues. If you didn't notice the audio issues, then everything was fine. Don't worry about it. But there were audio issues. The good news, we discovered what caused those audio issues, and we think that we figured out how to make it so that those audio issues won't happen in the future. We'll see. To err is human. If you want to reach us, there's a few ways that you can do that. The easiest way is by email, pandemicguitar@icloud.com. Feel free to shoot us a free email. Tell us what you think. Give us your thoughts and opinions. Let us know what you want us to talk about. We're all ears, or I guess eyes, because email is on the computer. You can also follow us on Instagram @pandemicguitar. I know it's a little slow out there, but we'll figure it out. We'll get some more information, some more pictures. We'll get stuff out there. And then, of course, if you are the extreme listener to this podcast, you can always follow us at Buy Me a Coffee. buymeacoffee.com/pandemicguitar. Right now, you don't have to be a paid supporter, but we would appreciate it if you would. We'll be back in 2 weeks with a brand new episode. Until then, we wish you many hours of playing and or fixing your guitars.